We've made it to Friday, a time for celebration. We're excited for another weekend filled with Celtics thrills. The anticipation is high for the match against St. Johnston on Sunday, as there's a belief that we need to hit a certain number of wins to secure the title. The current situation suggests that we might need 3 victories, though the possibility that only 2 would be enough can be ruled out. With that in mind, we'll discuss more about the game shortly, and we'll also bring you an analysis of the match in a video tomorrow. This week, a lot has happened, particularly regarding the restructuring of the league. Recently, news surfaced that the league is considering reducing the premiership to 10 teams, which would result in 36 matches per season for each club, down from the current model. However, throughout the week, it's been suggested that this proposal might not move forward, as its implementation depended on approval from a significant number of Premiership clubs, as well as widespread support among the league's teams. This matter has been a bit confusing, with information changing since the start of the week, raising doubts about the progress of discussions. With this in mind, the idea of a 10-team league seems to be under threat. Furthermore, there are discussions about maintaining the current 12-team format or considering alternatives with 14 or 16 teams. One club has already voiced opposition to the 10-team league, warning that such a change could be a mistake. Meetings are scheduled for the end of the month, raising concerns about how some clubs, including Celtic, would balance European commitments with the calendar. The perception of the impact of such a league change can vary. In the past, when there were only 10 teams in the top division, the difference didn't seem so stark after the move to 12, and Celtic still found opportunities on the international stage. The debate surrounding these changes raises questions about how the league could be organized and whether it would bring advantages or complications for the clubs involved. Let's see how this plays out in practice. Let's see Celtic making some adjustments to their tight match schedules. And yes, this might make more sense. I wonder, when they talk about the 12-team league, if one of the alternatives under consideration is perhaps splitting the league after 2 games for each team instead of the current 3, which would result in 32 games per season. I wonder if that's the analysis they'll make. However, this would mean giving up 3 home games for each team, 3 match day revenues per club, and you can't charge too much for season tickets. This might be less complicated for Celtic, but I imagine for teams like St. Johnston, this could be a challenge. So I'm curious about what they'll decide. For Celtic, it's not a big deal. Many people want a broader league, and perhaps this would mean fewer derby matches and clashes with other big clubs, but these encounters could become even more special. Personally, I believe the derbies, even with up to 7 of them in one season, would still be fantastic. So I'm not too worried about it. That's the current situation. The 10-team league doesn't seem to be a viable option. So basically, we have to choose a number and we'll see what happens. I'm sure we'll have updates. Changing the subject a little, a leaked image of a player at Celtic Park recently surfaced, featuring a new kit that looks quite a bit like a B shirt. I believe it was already mentioned that the B logo will return for the first time in 10 years and the first time under the new manufacturer, which happened in November. Is this what we're seeing? Are we about to get our B shirt for next season? From all the research I've done on social media, it seems like this image is legitimate, a real leak from an internal environment. In November, a site known for its football leaks not just about Celtic indicated that a B design was on the way. This image is indeed authentic, emerging from an internal context. If I recall correctly, it was in November when a well-known site for football leaks announced that a B design was coming, confirming a color palette that I can't quite remember exactly, but it was something close to neon and black. Personally, I like the idea of a B, although in the 2009-2010 season, under a specific manager, the lack of success stood out. The return of the Bumblebee design in 1991 was amazing, reminding me of the shirt a player wore. It brings back memories of away games against a Dutch club, but it's curious that this club doesn't resonate with specific games for me. They wore that shirt, but it didn't evoke the B style I was expecting. This new design looks more like the 1998-199 away kit with its green lime green details and thin stripes. The sponsor is well known, and the manufacturer maintains the legacy of a great icon with a distinctive look. To be honest, I was expecting something a bit bolder, like a neon yellow kit with black stripes. While this design is acceptable, I feel like I need to see it in person to really appreciate it. I have a soft spot for kits, maybe I'm a bit too involved with it, especially when leaked images come out. That said, I'm not totally against this design, but I definitely expected something more impressive. What's your opinion? Is this a disappointment for you? Personally, it doesn't bother me. I think it's quite nice. I haven't had the chance to assess the online reaction, but I suspect as negative as it often is. However, I would definitely buy it. All these kits are key, especially when you're not wearing a stylish pair of shoes, but it's likely that Celtics products are being promoted effectively. In the end, a significant result can change everything, especially a big match in Europe or generally against a local rival. If it's in a specific stadium and they get a big win, it often shifts the perspective. It's unlikely that anyone would be wearing a pair of Celtic Gazelles if there's a promotion linked to wide jeans when they're cut. All it takes is a big result, right? A notable one in Europe or against Hibernian could make the difference, especially if it happens at Easter Road and they pull off a notable result, as this often plays in their favor. However, for next season's shirts, the price is around £70, one of which they will wear. But that's another conversation. It seems there was close collaboration with the club in the past, so is this similar to a photo shoot happening this season? Seems likely. Surely there are people in the marketing team who wouldn't be happy with the leak. It's indeed a tough situation. Leaks are pretty common in today's world. In the video game industry, which has its specialized media, leaks also happen frequently. This situation isn't new to Celtic. It seems it's happened several times with this specific case. The clarity of the image, assuming it's authentic, makes me think it's probably possible to identify who took the photo, which isn't a good omen for that person. It's also true that information about the team has been leaked. It's believed that this occurred just before the derby, right? So there are several issues at the club that may not be ideal, but it opens up discussion, so maybe it's not all bad. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. In a stunning development that has sent shockwaves through Scottish football, rumors are swirling that billionaire businessman Douglas Barrowman is looking to buy Celtic Football Club. Sources close to the Scottish tycoon suggest that he's not only interested in taking control of the Glasgow Giants, but also has an audacious plan to lead the club to Champions League glory. Could this be the dawn of a new era for the Hoops? Barrowman, a renowned figure in the world of finance and technology, has built a reputation for turning ventures into highly successful enterprises. His potential entry into football ownership has sparked excitement and curiosity among fans and analysts alike, who see his leadership as a game changer that could propel Celtic to unprecedented heights. Despite dominating Scottish football for decades, Celtic have struggled to make a lasting impact on the European stage in recent years. Barrowman's promise of Champions League success would require massive investment in world-class talent and top-tier infrastructure, something the club has long been yearning for. Football experts argue that while the takeover remains speculative, its realization could completely transform the landscape of both Scottish and European football. With an owner of Barrowman's financial stature and vision, Celtic could attract top-tier players and establish themselves as a true powerhouse in Europe once again. As fans eagerly await official confirmation, the mere possibility of Douglas Barrowman leading Celtic into a new golden age has sparked heated debates and growing anticipation. If these whispers turn into reality, Scottish football may be on the verge of a historic shift, one that could see the Hoops rise to the summit of European football once more. Hello fan, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.